The NNSCRA Offline and Online Racing at its best presents Speed World.
Stop number 17 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us now to the Milwaukee Mile. This is a new track we're running on the circuit this season, and maybe a one-time track. I made it this as a one-time track. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're at the Milwaukee Mile here for the season for the running of the Sears Die Hard 300s. We're set for 50 laps of action on this 1 mile racetrack. Iconic 1 mile racetrack, I might add, here at West Dallas, Wisconsin, just outside of Milwaukee. So here's the starting lineup for today's running event. On the pole, his first ever pole this season, I believe, Samit Ozkan, car number 81, the TIC Financial Systems Ford. He is flanked by car 26, Daniel Voiles, the Quaker State Ford. Second row is car 87. That is the car of Samit Ozkan, or that is the car, of Christian Bracken, the number 87 Burger King Chevrolet. He's alongside two-time winner of the season so far, Caleb Bogler, the DuPont Chevrolet car 24. Caleb won the season at Atlanta and again at Martinsville. Third row has the winner at Richmond. That is Colin Cropley, the 25 Budweiser Chevrolet, and number 77, here fresh off a second-place finish at Daytona. That's Laura Chung, the U.S. Air Jasper Engines Federal Mogul Ford. Going to row number 4 is car number 4. It is Eric Monaco, the Kodak Film Chevrolet, and number 75, Casey Hoyt, in the Factory Source of America Ford. Row number 5 is car 15, Alex Miller, in the Quality Care Ford, and number 71, Hiccup Bush, in the Olive Garden Chevrolet. Next row down is number 9, Emmanuel Harney, who's been qualifying well as of late, the Spam Milling Performance Ford. He's alongside number 21, the winner of Pulsar at Daytona in the Pepsi 400. It is Quentin Moore to Citgo Ford. Next row down is Jessica Shelton in car number 94, the McDonald's Ford, and number 8 and number 11, that is Seth Cole in the Lowe's Ford. Here's Jess won a season earlier at Sonoma. Next row down is number 19, Carson Gum, the Health Source Ford, and number 2, Dylan Young, three-time winner so far this season. He won at North Wilkesboro, won at Riverside, and again at Pocono, the Miller Genuine Draft Ford. In fact, we're going to Pocono next race on the tour after this. Next row down is number 6, Nathan Hudson, the Valvoline Ford, and number 7, one number up, that is the XI Batteries Ford of Alexander Rowe, who had a terrific run at Daytona. Next row down is Joshua Osborne, the Daytona 500 champion, the Ray Bestis Ford, car number 8, and number 10, that is Michael Turner in the Tide Ford. Next row down is number 16, Ellie Liara, the Family Channel Ford, and number 30, Zachary Fitzwater, the Pennzoil Pontiac. Next row down is James Henry, another one who had a great run at Daytona, the Little Caesars Kmart T Plus Ford, car 37. He's alongside Phil Parker in car 5, the Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevrolet. Next row down, Sarah Eisner in number 41, the Kodiak Chevrolet, and the Pepsi 400 champion Cole Beaver, the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet, car number 3. He also won the All-Stars at Charlotte. Next round is number 23, the winner at Bristol this season, Eric Sadler, and number 18, the Interstate Battery Chevrolet of Nathan Ormond. Next round is Kyle Matthews in 42, the Coors Light Pontiac. He won it this season at Rockingham, Darlington, and Dover. He's alongside number 1, Trent Dunham, in the Skull Classic Ford. Next row down has the Batsons, Kat in 88 and Keith in 28, both in Texaco Haviland Fords. Next row down is number 22, the winner of the the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte, Dylan Potey in the MB&A Pontiac, and beside him is number 40, the Kendall Motor Oil Pontiac of his buddy Sean Galligan. Next row down is number 43, that is Matt McIntyre, the STP Pontiac, and number 31, the winner at Michigan this season, Rafaela Duke, in the Hardee's Chevrolet. Next round is number 33, that is Reggie Fogelman, the Skull Bandit Chevrolet, and number 98, Connor Breton, the RCA Ford. He had a great run at Daytona as well. Next round is number 90, Jeff Leinbach in the Heilig Myers Ford, and number 17, the Western Auto Chevrolet of Mitchell Hodak, and starting shotgun in the field is Kyler Sustre in car number 12, and number 29, the winner at Talladega this season, that is Max Anderson. So that's your starting lineup for today's running of the Sears Die Hard 300. at the Milwaukee Mile. This is the first time I think that the Castrol GTX Cup Series have raced on this iconic racetrack. We'll see how they do today here for 50 laps. And here comes the command to fire them up.
Drivers, start those engines!
Command getting the fire the engines as we're separating here today on this 1 mile racetrack as the pace car is field around for the pace up and back to the start of the race right after this. And look at this beautiful spectator view of the Milwaukee Mile in all of its glory and majesty as they come off the fourth turn now. Pace car is about to come up on the pit road. Salmon Ozcon and Daniel Voiles will lead him to the start-finish line, looking for a green flag, and the Sears Die Hard 300 is on. Salmon Ozcon, who's had the best season so far in the Castrol GTX Cup Series career for him at least, goes off to the top spot right now, and I think led a lap at Daytona, the last race on the tour, and he's going to lead the first lap here at Milwaukee, and he's already pulled out to a nice, comfortable lead over Christian Bracken in second position here. Daniel Voiles in 26 and Caleb Vogler in 24. Battling it out now for position as they come off the second turn. Caleb Vogler has one of our 3 in-car cameras above in today's event, as does Daniel Voiles for that back, too, in 26. And our third camera will be riding inside the car of Keith Batson. That's going to be our third 3 in-car cameras in today's event. As we watch Vogler and Voiles battle it out for position. You saw Voiles having to fight the car right there, and I think we're under caution. Yes, we are. We're actually under caution for the first time here today on lap number 3, and it's the car, I believe, of Connor Breton, who has spun. And I see some damage right there on one of the cars. That's Mitchell Hodak in 17. Hodak had a best finish this season, I believe, of a 13th at Michigan. Take a look as to what happened to cause the yellow flag. Yeah. Oh gosh, that was a bad hit right there. That could have been. If a hit like that would have happened, it's taking place at a track like, if tracks like Daytona or Talladega or something like that would have had a situation like this, that would have been nasty. Or even on a road course for that fact, like at Sonoma or Watkins Glen or even Riverside. Max Anderson dips down and thought he had a nose on the inside of Mitchell Hodak, turns Mitchell into the inside wall, and Mitch's car ricochets right into Connor Breton in the turn number 1. Oh my gosh, bad hit there for Mitchell Hodak. Even though the hit was probably like around 50, 60 miles per hour, something like that. That is still a bad hit right there, too, because it happens so quick. How quick can it happen? Well, real time. And lucky for both Mitch and Connor, they're able to get their cars back going again. There's Connor in car number 98, and Mitchell Hodak's car, the 17 Western Auto Machine. Back's all bent up big time there, and I think may still want to race like that. I think, obviously. Well, who knows? We'll be back for the restart after this. Here, Salmon Ozcon is your leader. Pace car about to duck off on the pit road as you rejoin us here. Salmon Ozcon is your leader. Second position is Christian Bracken. Then third is Daniel Voiles. Caleb Vogler fourth. Colin Cropley is in fifth position. Sixth is Laura Chung. Seventh position right now belonging to Eric Monaco. Eighth is Alex Miller. Ninth is Casey Hoyt. And Hiccup Bush is running in 10th position. The green flag back out. Back underway on lap number 7. Here at the Milwaukee Mile. And, Colin Cropley pushes his teammate Caleb Bogler up the track right there, wanted to make it 3 wide. And obviously, Voiles must have saw what happened and floored the throttle on that Quaker State Ford to try to, and saying, no, I don't want any of that. 2x2 racing going on right there, as you see the 4 car of Eric Monaco getting by now to 77 of Laura Chung, and now the 75 car of Casey Hoyt tries to do the same thing and cannot quite get the run here, and he holds out the challenge of Alex Miller for the time being in the 15 machine. Miller right now running in the 9th position. Hiccup Bush in the 71 and the 9 car of Emmanuel Hartnett. Both behind as well, too, in that mix. And there's a cluster of cars right there. Carson Gum, Jessica Shelton, Nathan Hudson is in there. Quentin Moore, Joshua Osborne, Dylan Young, Michael Turner. A whole slew of cars right there through this pack right here. Hudson goes inside of Shelton, gets by him, or gets by her, I should say, tries to at least. As you watch Dylan Young in there in the number 2 machine. And Allie Liar decides to throw her hat in the ring as well as the 7 of Alexander Rowe in the 37 car of James Henry, as you see, as now Hudson again tries to go by. Shelton fights back on the outside of the racetrack. If you know Jessica Shelton, she does not have a give-up attitude at all. She is going to race her heart out as hard as she can. And Osborne trying to figure out who he wants to go to. Does he want to go with Hudson, or does he want to go with Shelton? And he figures Hudson may have a faster car. And now Hudson floors the throttle on that Roush Ford and goes by the 94 machine. So move Hudson, I believe, is going to move him up to 14th position. Let's see what he's clocked at this time by. And it does. He is 14th position. Shelton is 15th. Osborne 16th. And whoa, James Henry just about got turned off the second turn by Dylan Young and saves the car, though. And Henry, despite the near spin there, keeps on ticking right there in that 37 machine as he gets by Young as he comes off the 4th turn. James Henry right now clocked in 20th spot. Young in 21st, and a battle going on there between Alexander Rowe in the 7 and the 88 car of Kat Batson. She gets by Alexander and now tries to bring Kyle Matthews with her in 42. Matthews and Young, 2 of the drivers who has won 3 times this season. Matthews winner at Rockingham. He also won Darlington, and he also won at Dover, while Young won at North Wilkesboro, and then 2 in a row at Riverside and Pocono. And in fact, we'll be heading back to Pocono next race on the tour for the running of the AC Spark Plugs 500. Battle there still going on between Jessica Shelton, Nathan Hudson, and now Joshua Osborne decides he wants to try to make a pass on Shelton for the position. That is 15th he's trying to go for. Take a look at the rest of the cars in this pack right there. Trent Dunham getting around Phil Parker in the 5 car. They're still in Poteet. Inside of the 33 machine of Reggie Fogelman. Nathan Orman trying to figure out who he wants to go with. He wants to go with Poteet. You don't usually hear the term drafting on a 1-mile racetrack, though, but it seems like in this series it is an absolute necessity, especially as even as a lot of these cars are. And now Keith Batson decides to swoop down on Orman right there as he tries to get by Cole Deaver in car number 3. And taking a ride there with Keith Batson in car 28, the Texaco Haviland Ford. Keith right now running in 33rd position. Not having a good run so far here today. He had his best finish this season, the 2nd at Pocono. Madsen gets moved up the track, and I'm trying to see who it is that moved him up the track right there. That is the Intimidator car of Cole Deaver, the Dale Earnhardt machine. And brings Kyle Sustre in the 12 car with him. Let's go back to the front of the pack right there. It is still Samit Ozkan, who's your leader of the event. Ozkan having a, as we mentioned in the first of the season, striving to try to have a whole lot better season. He has mentioned he's had some bad seasons and poor performances in this series though, and he wants to change all that for sure. And he is having, as I said, having a good season, having the best season he's had so far and probably ever in this series. And has the name going back a little bit ways in the NR community. And I tell you, for Ozkan, Ozkan's had some top 5s in this series before, and I think his best finish, was a 4th in this series. That was at Indianapolis. In the Brickyard 400, we'll be heading to about 3 races for now. We'll be heading to Pocono next on the tour, and after that will be the final plate race of the season at Talladega for the Die Hard 500. And then after Talladega for the Die Hard 500 will be the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis. That'll be the 20th race of the season. But Ozkan's your leader right now. Second position is Christian Bracken. Third right now is Daniel Voiles in car 26. There he is, the Quaker State Ford, as we take a ride on the roof cam of the Quaker State machine. See how Daniel drives his track at 110 miles an hour, 120 off the 4th turn. And up to 154 miles an hour into turn number 1. The banking of the tracks here, the banking on the turns here at Milwaukee. A little over 9 degrees of banking, basically a flat track, much like almost like New Hampshire for that fact. Drops it down to 101 miles an hour in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Up to 154, you saw it in the turn number 3. And up to about 153 going into turn number 1 this time. Down to 101 again in the middle of 1 and 2. And then here he comes off the second turn, 124 miles an hour this time off the second turn. 154 again in turn 3. And down about 98 miles an hour into turns 3 and 4. And there's a look from Caleb Vogler's in-car camera. From the roof cam of the DuPont Chevrolet. Vogler running in 4th. And Vogler again up to 154 miles an hour into turn 3 himself. And down to about 99 miles an hour in the middle of 3 and 4. And then he comes off the 4th turn this time. 123 miles an hour off the 4th turn. And 154 again going into turn number 1. His last up 124.15 miles an hour. As we're about at the halfway point of this event. Hiccup Bush so far is the fastest lap of the race so far at 125.611 miles an hour as we watch Vogler try to get past Daniel Voiles for a position that's for 3rd spot, and they're both within striking distance of the second place machine of Christian Bracken, who is keeping it close on Samit Ozkan. Ozkan knows that one little slip out of that 81 car, and Bracken in that Burger King machine is going by him. And if I'm Christian Bracken right now, I'd be turning the flame up a little. I'd be turning the flame up a little bit on that Whopper on that machine. I couldn't resist that line. But he's on the high side this time, trying to see if he can find see if the high lane can work to his advantage. And I think Ozkan went down to the low side to try to break the draft, and he does so. But Bracken has that high line to his advantage off the second turn. He actually was by Ozkan for a minute. Bracken may have found himself a line possibly through the middle of 3 and 4. Bracken on the high side with the help of Daniel Voiles, and Ozkan on the low side with the help of Caleb Vogler, and that's going to bring Colin Cropley and Eric Monaco in the mix now. The 25 and the 4 cars, so now we got a 6-car battle for the top spot. past halfway through this event here. 27 laps in the books and 23 to go here at the Milwaukee Mile. Don't go away, because we're going to see we may see a great finish here today, possibly. Christian Bracken trying to keep pace with Oscon. Oscon, I think, now starting to pull away just a slight bit now. There's Cropley in 5th. Eric Monaco, 6th position. 7th is Casey Hoyt. Laura Chung running in 8th position now. Could be on the road for her second top 10 in a row. We mentioned finished 2nd at Daytona in the Pepsi 400. Hiccup Bush running in 9th position. His best run he's had in a long time. A guy trying to make his name in the NNSCRA community. Has been running some NNSCRA Duracell Next Gen Cup Series races, and hopes to make it right there. And he hopes to find himself a team for himself in that series next season. And of course, also for this series next season as well too. He secured a full-time ride this season. Trying to give it a whirl here, Alex Miller. 10th position is where he's running at right now in the Quality Care Ford, and he has not yet won. He won twice at this point last season, but Miller trying to put the pieces together. He hopes to come up with his first victory of the season. Emmanuel Hardig, give a call to him in that number 9 car, running right now in 11th position in the Spam Milling Performance 4, and they have found the qualifying speed. They need to qualify start near the front. The number 9 spam machine out of Melling Racing. Spam may stand for stuff posing as meat, though, but I tell you what, that car's got some horsepower, though, under the hood of that Ford. Carson Gum, another Ford running strong here. The number 19 Hell Source machine running right now in 12th position. Behind him, another Ford. There's Seth Cullen, another Ford in... actually got 3 more Fords behind him. Actually, 4 more Fords behind him, I should say. Seth Cullen, number 11, running in 13th position. Nathan Hudson in 14th. Jessica Shelton in 15th. Joshua Osborne, 16th position is where he's at right now. 17th is Michael Turner, another Ford. Gosh, you got a lot of Fords in the field here this season. Ali Lear is in 18th position. 19th is Quentin Moore. 20th position is another Ford, James Henry. And another Ford in Dalen Young in 21st position. Alexander Rowe, Kat Badson. And then it's a long way till you find a non-Ford product there. That's Zachary Fitzwater in a Pontiac, riding right now in 24th position. So you got a whole string of Fords in the field right there. Ford, of course, does have the dominating number in the manufacturer's breakdown this season. And the reason why so many Fords in this series, obviously, in this car set, obviously, because Ford had a aerodynamic package, a dominating aerodynamic package throughout the entire decade of the 90s, whether it was the Thunderbird or if it was the Taurus, which will be coming up later on for the 1998 car set. But Ford has been running has had very strong running cars always over there, in an aerodynamic package, as I said, very, very fast. As for the Monte Carlos in that time as well, too, because Chevrolet won a lot of times in 95 as well. Oscon right now still running as the leader of the event. It's still Bracken in 2nd position. 3rd is still Fogler. Actually, 3rd is now Caleb Fogler. He's gotten around Daniel Foyles for position. That was for 3rd spot. Then it's Cropley, Monaco, Hoyt, Chung, Bush, and Miller. They're still the top 10 in this event. As we're closing up on 10 laps remaining here at the Milwaukee Mile. And Salmon Oscon says he wants to improve his performance in this series, obviously. He's not doing that so far this season, but that first win may possibly come 13 laps from now, possibly, as we're down to 13 to go. Christian Bracken, he also is going for his first ever win in this series. He hopes to bring a stop to that. Feel pretty much side by side and feel pretty much single file pretty much for the most part. Now Daniel Voil's trying to get around, trying to get back around the Caleb Fogler machine. Cropley, meantime, trying to hold off the 4 car of Eric Monaco as they come off the 4th turn now. Those two, the 24 and 26, have been going at it hammer and tong all race long. There, Hendrick Motorsports, 2 of their cars in the top 5. They're Fogler in 3rd and Cropley in 5th. And you got then the next Hendrick car down is Phil Parker, and he is in 31st position right now in that number 5 machine. Not a good day for him. And you see some big names back there. Phil Parker back there, as is Nathan Ormond, Nathan Ormond, Keith Batson, Raphael Leduc, Dylan Poteet, Sean Galligan, Cole Deaver, Kyler Sustre. Some of those names way back in the back, and even some in the 21st to 30th positions right there. Dylan Young, Zachary Fitzwater, Kat Batson, Kyle Matthews, Trent Dunham, Matt McIntyre. And they are all feeling the competitiveness of this series for sure, because the competition has been absolutely just keen this season for sure. One caution flag so far in this race that happened way back on the 3rd lap. They're averaging over 100, almost 110 miles an hour here at Milwaukee Mile, 109,991 to be exact, after 41 laps. Now 42 are completed. And the average now has bumped up to over 110, 110.266 so far. 7 laps to go. Will it be Samit Ozkan, or will it be Christian Bracken in victory lane in the final 7.5 laps of this event? Some cars up ahead right there. That's the 2 cars that caused the first caution flag of the day. Connor Breton and Mitchell Hodak. And I'm not sure they're going to catch them before the checker flag falls here in Milwaukee. They are, the 98 and 17 cars are in 3 and 4 right now. They're actually now halfway down the down the front stretch now, and this field is coming off turn number 4 at the moment. So, and then coming down for 6 laps remaining. So, yeah, it's gonna be close. Probably gonna be very close as far as if they'll catch them or not. And meantime, Caleb Fogler trying to close up in the back of that front 2 cars now. We could have a 3-way battle for the win, maybe. There is Fogler, the 24 machine, running in 3rd spot right now. 2-time winner this season so far. He's looking for his 3rd victory of the year. He won, as mentioned, race number 4 at Atlanta and race number 8 at Martinsville. In fact, that Martinsville race, the man who finished 2nd in that Martinsville race is up ahead of him right now, Christian Bracken. He does not want to finish 2nd again. He wants to go for that win. Even if it means in the realm of possibly bumping Oscar out of the way, as Casey Atwood did to Jeff Green here at this track in 1999. Four to go. Fogler right now, 59 hundredths of a second back of the leaders. And Ozkan pulling away a little bit right there. There's Bracken. There's Fogler. You saw the front 2 cars. You saw the 2 cars, the last cars on the lead lap going by as well too. So they're not far ahead of the leader. So, but the laps are winding down. We're down to 2 to go. And Ozkan went to the high side that time, and that may have let the 87 car close up just a slight bit. And Ozkan, does not want to have that happen again. Their car drifted up to the high side. 2 laps to go. 2100ths of a second that time by between the front two machines. Here, Ozcon has led every lap of this race so far, and it's like a baseball pitcher not wanting to give up a perfect game. Bracken again, he tries that high side. He tried that earlier, and it worked to his advantage. Let's see what happens off the final lap. On the final lap of this race here, white flag is out. Two drivers going for their first ever Castrol GTX Cup Series victory. Will it be the 81 or the 87? We'll see what happens here. Off the second turn with about a half a mile left from the finish. In the turns 3 and 4 they come here. Bracken tries to find any weakness out of Ozcon, and it's not going to happen off the fourth turn. He's wanted that first win for a long time, and now he's got it. Samit Ozcon wins at Milwaukee. So, the first race I think we've ever had at Milwaukee, and how about a first-time winner in this series, the number 81 TIC Financial Systems Ford out of Philmar Racing. Goes to victory lane here today at the Milwaukee Mile. Samit Ozcon wins here today. Christian Bracken equals his career best finish, finishing second. Third goes to Caleb Vogler. Fourth goes to Daniel Foyles. Fifth to Colin Cropley. Sixth will go to Eric Monaco. Seventh to Casey Hoyt. Then Laura Chung, Hiccup Bush, and Alex Miller, the top 10. Average speed 112.155 miles an hour. And there's your finishing order here at this event here today. We gave you the top 10 already here. Emmanuel Harden, another solid day. He ends up with an 11th place run. Carson Gum comes home 12th, and Seth Cole 13th. Nathan Hudson 14th. Jessica Shelton rounds out the top 15. Her best run in a while as well herself. 16th position will go to Joshua Osborne. 17th to Michael Turner. Ali Liara, Quentin Moore, and James Henry, the top 20. Dylan Young, 21st position. 22nd, Alexander Rowe. 23rd position will go to Kat Batson and Zachary Fitzwater. And Eric Sadler, the top 25. 26 through 30, Kyle Matthews, Sarah Eisner, Trent Dunham, Matt McIntyre, and Reggie Fogelman. Then Phil Parker, Nathan Orman, Keith Batson, Rafael Aduke, Dylan Poteet, Cole Deaver. Goes from a win at Daytona to the 36th position. Ouch. Definitely for anybody. But as we said, shows how competitive this series is from one race to the next. But Deaver, they'll try to get it figured out. They'll get it figured out at Pocono. 37th position will go to Kyler Sustre, Sean Galligan, a disappointing 38th position, Jeff Leinbach, 39th, then 40th to Max Anderson, Connor Breton, 41st, Mitchell Hodak, 42nd, and as badly beaten up Hodak's car was, it's amazing he ended up finishing on the lead lap here. I mean, albeit last place, but still impressive for him and Breton to both stay on the lead lap after all that. In this event here, all 42 cars finished on the lead lap. As a matter of fact, first time I think that's happened this season, believe it or not, in this series. But for Samit Ozcon, this is a day he will never forget in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. Here he is. Here his team has strived to be better. They had some flashes of brilliance with JT Bryant last season, and JT I'm sure wishes he was in that car this season there. But Samit Ozcon is in the car this season. And it gives them his very first win in this series here. 112.155, the average speed. And congratulations again to Samit Ozcon on the win here today at the Milwaukee Mile, the Sears Die Hard 300. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe and become part of the crew and become part of the NNSCRA crew. We have in our races, we got gaming, we got in our races, we got in our online races. We got gaming videos. We got whatever the president of the industry, Seth Cole, desires to have for his channel. Be sure to check out Seth's Duracell Next Gen Cup Series and Duracell Ultra Light Series, the two main series on the channel, both run by the head honcho himself, Seth Cole. And if you want in on future seasons of Seth's Duracell Next Gen Cup Series and Duracell Ultra Light Series, be sure to get with Seth, and he will get you going on that. And also be sure to check out other channels from the NNSCRA community as well. So that will do it here today at the Milwaukee Mile. We'll see you at Pocono Raceway for the AC Spark Plugs 500. For now, this is James Qualls. It's been a production of the NNSCRA. Offline and online racing at its best. We'll see you at Pocono.
Striker, do you have any ignition problems?